All right. Hey guys. I am a little early because that's just the way I roll. And I was just sitting here and ready, so let's do it. I don't know what we're going to do tonight besides look at pictures, but it's freaking hot in here, so I had to open the window. You can see the sunset. I have really nice views of the sunset every night. All right. Am I live? I think we're good. I saw a bunch of people in the chat waiting, so that's cool. Thank you. Hey, Lynn. I'm going to get rid of the chat so I don't get distracted too much. But yeah. All right. I am drinking coffee. That's probably why I'm hot. And other people in this house like the heat on all the time. So I turned the heat off and I opened some windows today. It was like 40 something. So, all right. Katina, nice to see you. Yeah, something about Sunday night. Sunday night is a mixture of like nerves for me and like getting pumped up for I don't know what. There's nothing to be pumped up about in my life, but I get this certain energy. You turn on the air conditioning. Wow, yeah. I mean, I just love the fresh air. I love the cool, fresh air. Hey, David. So yeah. I opened one window. It got a little chilly, but it's good. It's good for you. This feels good. I think it's like 40 degrees outside. The sun has gone down. Okay. So, what we're going to do tonight is make up for my Friday debacle. It wasn't I'm not taking ownership of that. That was not me. That was not my fault. So anyways, fuchsia. So yeah, I got on a computer and I'm doing the restream. I don't have people come on that are wackadoodles on the restream, so should be good unless restream conks out, but it shouldn't because I have good Wi-Fi. Anyway, so tonight I was just sometimes, I notice I say a lot in lives that, oh, I'll do this video. And then I'm like, well, shit, I'll just do it. Like, what's the point of prepping? I don't have prep time. I have some thoughts in my head and I just bring it on out. So, yeah, so here's the premise. This is a running theory, a working theory. And I don't even think it can be explained. I'm never here to solve problems necessarily, and I'm never here to say this is what I think and this is what you should think and everything else. Here, while I'm talking, I'll put myself on maximize. I never say I've found it, because really all these lies, the layers and layers and layers of lies, are just like our layers and layers and layers of earth and buildings and everything underground. So we're not going to come to any conclusions tonight. I'm just had a thought, and I could probably wrap up my thought in 5 minutes, but it's not. It's no fun to just talk for 5 minutes. And I'm really thankful for all of you. So I just wanted to make up for Friday and hang out. and look at some cool pictures and, hey, Asta, and give you something to think about. And I really appreciate how, and I've learned from all of you in here, I feel like truth can always be found out, like I said, in pieces. I don't think we ever know the whole. But it never ceases to amaze me that we can still find things to search out. You know, the mystery history stuff, and the shape of the realm and how this whole realm works is never going to be completely solved. So, hi, Bradazel. I don't, oh, yeah, there you are. So there's just another piece of the puzzle that I was thinking about. So the way I was thinking about this was Leighton Lexicon's channel, and I've posted some of his videos, and he's got really cool images of star forts and cities and the World's Fairs and all these things, and he's really amazing at putting things together. But along with others out there that I've followed for years, I realized, I was telling someone today, I've been on YouTube for 6 years. So in those 6 years, there's always something else to look for. So here's my working theory. And this is not anything I'm putting out there professionally. It's me on Restream in my house. Here's my working theory. So I'm going to use the Odiote tonight, which is the Paleo-Hebrew pictograph. However, Nathan was right. It gave him Egyptian vibes. So keep that in mind. But I'm going to be using the Odiote because I have that in my notes and I want to learn it personally for myself. But I do take into consideration other, I don't want to say religions. Hey, Melissa. Not other religions, other beliefs, other languages. I mean, hello. There's other languages out there. So I think it's good to keep in mind of other pictographic languages. I think of Sanskrit, that Keys to the Truth always uses, and the Odiote, the Paleo-Hebrew, and Egyptian, and Arabic. I think of all of those. Think of any kind of pictograph type language. I'm just going to choose the Odiote to see if we can uncover anything. Doesn't matter. Yeah, right, pseudo. So I think also along these lines that things in the past, the architecture, the grid lines, which we'll look at, the city outlines, country outlines, were all more purposeful. And then on top of those grid lines, the structures had more purpose than we use today. Or that's why they tore them down, because they didn't know what to do with them the way the past, the ancient, wiser civilizations knew how to use resourcefully and fully. So keep that in mind. And then along with this theory, keep in mind things like resonances and healing and frequencies and things of that nature. Think of the cathedrals and their different types of healing properties right there in Tiquitech, but also think of the stained glass windows, which probably did not have glass in them when they were used fully, and the different, wow, I'm really going to have a hard time finding my thoughts. Sorry, I'm a little tired. More coffee. Designs. Okay. So each design produces frequency, which produces different healing for different types of things, right? Just like flowers and everything in nature. So I want you to take that also in your mind and also think about natural things like rivers. Correct, David. And think about trees and where they are planted and things like that. So we can go from micro to macro to macro to micro. Although I'm super interested in that, I'm not at all in any kind of field to delve into that. But I want you to think of all those things in your mind, okay? All right, so I rambled enough. Like I said, I'm going to have the audio here, and I'll my screen is shared. Okay. So this is the audio, and I can't see you right now, so I will check back in a minute, which I hate about Restream. I cannot see the chat while I'm doing this, but that's okay. So we're going to use the audio. If any of you want to pull up any other pictographic language, go for it. But this is what I'll be using. So this is what we're going to be looking for within some of these grid lines. And I pulled up a couple pictures of star forts too. And then if we go farther with it, we can. If we need to stop, we'll just stop. I don't want to make this boring and extremely tedious. So here we go. Pictographs, of course, have meaning. And then when you put these letters together, they have more specific meanings. So we have Aleph, which is ox, strength, and leader. And already we can see, we've seen these before in different things anyways. Bet is house or inn. Gimel is a foot. Camel or pride. Dalet is tent and doorway. This is not, this should be more of a backwards D looking shape, like I mentioned earlier with the heart. Actually, Wendy mentioned it, and I piggybacked off of it. Hey, lo, behold, the, as in Yahuwah, the Most High, is speaking. Vav is the nail, peg, and. Like kind of like a tree. Zion, the plow, a weapon, or cut off. Chet, tent, wall, fence, separation. Obviously, we can already see, we're going to see these in the ley lines, in the grids. I've seen this a couple times just when I looked. I took a little peek before I got on. Yod, arm and hand. Oh, again, surround, basket, snake. Palm of the hand. I think I found this in one that I was peeking at, as well as lamed. Staff to control. Mem, of course, water, chaos. Nun or noon. Seed, fish, life. Samek, obviously looking antiquiteki. Hand on staff or support, prop. Eye in the eye, experience, pay, the mouth. Sad or sade, I'm not sure. Man on the side, desire or need. Kov, sun on the horizon behind. Resh, the head of a person. Shin, eat, consume, destroy. And Tav, mark, sign, covenant. Okay, so all we're really doing tonight is exploring different pictures. Hey, Mesa. And that's about it. That's all we're doing. Okay. All right. Go down, make sure I got everybody, my highs. I think I got it. Okay. So that's what we're going off of. And I have my notes next to me, and I will just describe things as we go. Should we go simple first, or should we jump right into the star fort? Longitude and latitude lines. Right. Yep. There's layers. So I could go to a star fort, you guys pick. I have this. Yeah, we haven't gotten to that page. Eeny, meeny, miny, moo. I'll start with this because I think it's my favorite and it'll really get our... It might not be my favorite. I don't know. The other one wasn't my favorite. I don't know. We'll just start with this one. Okay. So I'm going to make it larger. Now, I'm going to preface this also by saying I'm not really looking for things that aren't there, okay? Maybe they're there, maybe they're not. I'm not going to read into things. What's the point of that? I would be completely wrong and it would be stupid. So we're not going to do that, okay? All right. So it's a little blurry when I make it that close. Now, obviously, we know that these star forts had much more use than just being a fort. Some type of battery, water system, all of this. But I think within the star fort, I'm sorry, just the border of the star fort looking like Dalit could mean something. So Dalit, again, is the tent, the door, the pathway. So all along. This one's obviously a little more boxy. I just wanted to show you what I was talking about. And this is just a really cool picture. I just wanted to share it because it's cool. And I love the way they always have these depictions on the bottom. I love, even though I'm not an ocean type person, I'm drawn to ships though. I really like the art depicting ships. So Amsterdam, of course, or Amsteldam. There's a lot of mystery within Amsterdam and then New Amsterdam, New York. So even, okay, let's go here. So this, technically, if you want to be technical, would be bet. House. This is also a prefix. So this looks like bet. It looks like two bets adjacent. It also looks like shin to me. And my theory is, were these all laid out this way for the purpose of healing or strengthening the people in whichever area they were in? And I kind of think this theory works because that's what grounding does for us in our realm and things like that. So that's where I'm going with it. If it's right, I don't know. I just think it's cool to look at these pictures. If nothing else, we're just looking at these pictures. So I'm just saying, what are they doing here? I think, again, they were very resourceful with what they did in the past, much more than we are now, even though our culture claims to be. So that's kind of what I'm going for, is and again, like I said, these are all just pretty standard rectangles, but it'll get better. You know, like I said, I'm not gonna pretend something's there when it's not. Like I'll give you an example. I could say, you know, oh look, that's Gimel right there, and I'm not gonna do that, but there's reasons, and I don't know. I'm not the person to ask of how they laid out these star forts, which parts. Okay, so we'll go to another one. Okay, so I don't know where this is. I forgot. What did I say? What did I say? London. Yeah, London. I don't have just star forts, but again, we could see Bet here. There's Gimel. Now I will say what I see, I'll say, okay, but it doesn't mean anything because I don't know what we're really looking at. I think the waterways have something to do with something. So this is a tet kind of shape. But again, my whole theory is they used these for different things, for different purposes. So what was the reasoning they used these this way? My other part of this is, see, this is clearly Gimel, the foot. Also means endurance. I think this can be applied to other languages, okay? So I'm not saying just use the Paleo-Hebrew, just use Sanskrit. I think they're all valid. We just don't know. This one, sorry, I'm looking at my notes. A little dead air here. Yeah, so Gimel. Actually, quite a few of them. And since all of these were founded instead of built the way they tell us, we don't know what they were used for. There's Tav. Dalet. All right. This makes sense. Yeah, seen from the sky. You're right, Tony. That is, I did see Zion too. Wendy, hi. I did see that. You're right, Tony. So that's also what I'm thinking too in the works of that. Okay. Right. Uh-huh. Okay, where was I? Right here. And these are just cool. Like I said, these are just cool pictures. And I guess I could find a million of them, but you know, who has time for that? Okay. So yeah, this would be tet and tet. I think it would all work together, Tony, like Tony was saying, the stars and frequencies and things in the ether, the natural energy in our realm, going along with what resonates within us in the micro and the macro to work together. So this is what I'm meaning. Even these roads, and I hope I can go back and figure out what I'm doing here. Sorry, I'm using the mouse. Some ways that they routed the rivers and routed canals were also shapes, which is initially what I was thinking when I looked at my grid picture of Chicago. So from a landscape point of view, you can see this looks like Lamed to me. So that would mean going toward the city, you know, I just don't know. I don't know. It just popped in my head. Take it or leave it, everyone. Gimel again. That looks like Bet. That's Dalet for sure. So if I really wanted to deep dive into this, which I can't and I won't for now, But like I said, I'm not even looking, I'm looking right now, I am looking right now at just these letters on their own, but sequentially they would mean even more as they're lined up together, such as, so this would be Tet, Dalet, Gimel. What's right here? And these all connect. So what is that? That's what I'm saying. Right. Yeah, a heart. Hey, you never know. Maybe love. Wendy, yeah, what you said. I thought it in my head, but I didn't say it. Yes, each star fort looks like a Dalet surrounded by a bed. Right. So that's a house with pathways. Okay, so ta-da. Of course I have to show Chicago, guys, but this is going to be a blurry one because this is an old picture of an old map. And you know what? We might not even be able to see it because it's so blurry and I can't zoom in anymore. So, of course, I'm going to show Chicago. And these are, I'm showing this one, though, just as maybe a reference point. This is the railroad system, as you can see, railroad system. And the reason I just was showing this one was because it goes along with the theory of everything was here and discovered. So, again, that more purposeful use of how things are laid out make more sense with ancient technology than ours now. We just go and use it in different ways than probably originally intended. So that's, we're finding a lot of Dalits, I've noticed. So I know there's probably yods here too. There's a yod as I'm speaking right now. Up. So we've got this and line and across. So yes, anything like railroad, railways, and those paths across America or across any country. So now we'll get into more of the grid lines. This is obviously not old. And Pseudo and I are both from Illinois. I know exactly where you are, Pseudo. Not exactly. I don't go up there that much, but I know where you are. And I know you know where I am. So specifically, this is what I was inspired by. Right, a lot of doorways and portals. Yes. So this is very close to what my picture is, and I literally got that picture just at a random store. It was nothing special. It's not an antique, but it's very interesting to look at. So here we can see a lot more in detail. But again, I think these grid systems are purposeful and we're just reusing them. Where we've been assimilated into this. So, yep. So let's just take a moment and look here because this is the closest, I think, to my picture, which initially inspired me. So this is Lake Michigan. And this is just all the roads and all the counties. Now, I'm not looking at county lines, but I won't dismiss it either. I'm mainly looking at highways and like intersections. So if anything pops out to you, you let me know. And I'm just going to take a look at this for a second. Right there. Here. That's Bob. I don't know. This is a lot to look at, guys. Just even to look at all this is a little dizzying. These are rivers. I hope that says 83 and not 33. Just kidding. Anyways, like I said, I'm not answering any questions. I'm not solving any problems. I'm just being curious. So that's about all I could find, actually. And I think there's more. I mean, obviously, there's more to what they tell us is here, and I think there's more underground too, you know. So yes, Wendy, you've mentioned that, and that's to my point also. So wherever you're walking and wherever you are brings certain frequencies and resonance. And as much as there's concrete in cities like Chicago or New York, I think we still can sense things. Like they're still there. So yeah. Okay, so here's an actual Google Earth. And I'm not going on Google Earth personally right now because Google Earth gets glitchy and I don't want that. So obviously, and it's beautiful. I love Star Force. I think they're really cool. And I think that we can see shapes in the roads. I don't know where this one is. Europe, I think. So the way this is too, I'm trying to think. Lamed would be this. I did see an open palm, which is Kaf. This one. Let me go back. I did see this in one of these pictures, so if I missed it, I'm sorry. My apologies. Like I said, this is just a hangout, so I'm just working on this. That kind of looks like the open palm. I think this could, like Nathan said, go along with other languages too. I just wonder the big question is, what were these used for? And how were they efficiently used with these specific patterns? We know as a whole, these star patterns go along with, like what Tony said, what is above. But then it's even more detailed with these roads and these layouts and these houses. And these aren't original, obviously, but that Chet. Yeah. So things like that. What are you guys saying? Let me see the chat. Yeah. Yeah, good one, Tony. Right. Yeah. Hey, Bruce. Sorry, I'm reading. Yes, Wendy, right. Mm-hmm. He sends it too. So there's that. Okay, so then this one is London again. This is so tiny, but I thought there was a lot in here. Okay, this is where sorry. All right, that's where I saw Tet again, which is surround. This is definitely Tet. Now I do want to look at these roads more specifically because this is an older depiction. This is, sorry, I'm slow to the draw. Wendy's probably typing it out. Shin. Something like Shin. There is, that's either Vav or Yod. Could be either. There's a bunch of them. Yod, Dalit. I'm just looking for the obvious ones. This is Vav, which is add or and. I don't know. I just don't know, guys. Like I said, you can unfollow me or think I'm crazy. I'm just here having fun. I don't know what all these are, but those are Gimel, Dalet. So feet or walking. This is clearly, although it's detached, Yod, which is the arm. And I don't know. Lamed. Let's see, what else do you guys see? Right, Tony. Yeah, what's green noodle is noon. Hold on, let me see. Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah. And there's something in here, too. Yeah, I don't know. And I think the world was accessible. They were all accessible to each other in these times, quote unquote, more than we are told. Obviously, they had technology too, and they also were just able to move around more. I thought we'd find more samaks, but that's actually what we see on the buildings, right? As David said, the Antiquitech, the samak is all over in the actual antennas and things, right? There's more here, and these are, I think, river. I don't know what these are. I'm not going to say because I don't know. That looks like something there. So I think there's something to all of this. Again, because the whole theory is everything worked together. So, yeah. Someone said on another chat, who would pay $45 for a map? I would. This is on Etsy. I don't know how much it is, but I'd pay money for it. This is what I hang up in my house. Oh, man. Oh, I see. Oh, wait, let me get down there. This is either Kaf or Yod or Shin. There's an octagon. Tet, Bet. Mm-hmm. This water looks like Sad. Sade. Desire or need. I don't know. Okay. Let's look for another one. Should I look for one more? We're going on almost 40 minutes, so I'll do one more. Let's just look at this just because it's cool. That's probably a fountain anyways. Mini Starfort on a larger type Starfort. Now, a lot of these Starforts too are underwater in depictions and nowadays. So there we go. Bet. I'm sorry, Tet. Tet, not Bet. Lots of them. So the whole purpose of this area within this area to work together. That's what I'm saying. Cool, right? That's New Amsterdam, New York, which is an interesting place anyways. So then I think it's funny that then they give us these and they're like, yeah, here you go. This is your map to read. They'd strip away everything that we could learn from. And of course, the internet only gives me limited amounts of pictures when I do a broad search because that's what they do. They hinder us. Paris. I can't even look at all this. So there's some Antiquitect. So there's the big old church. And what's on top of it is Vav with the Tav, right? This looks like Dalit. A whole island there. Yeah. So I wanted to see if any of us could pick up any words, but I am not that good. So spitballs. Who said spitballs? Right, Pseudo. That's all we're doing. Pew pew. All I'm doing. Just asking another question. We can ask questions. You can ask. There are no dumb questions. You can ask any question you want. So then they get really stupid with me and say, oh, you want to see this picture of this museum? You want to see a city nowadays? No, I don't. So here's more natural things rather than grid lines, which I think are significant to Vav. I feel like I'm going to find Resh if I look carefully enough, but I'm kind of just perusing. That kind of looks like Resh to me. But again, I don't want to read into things. Said or Noon. My main point is it's just all over the place, you know? So, yeah. Who's laughing at me? Melissa's laughing. Oh, because I said unfollow me. I'm just me. Like I said, there's no stupid questions. I just really think I'm more convinced as time goes on, as I just, not that I'm a researcher, I don't research, I just observe. There's got to be more to these systems of the past. There's got to be more to these grid lines and ley lines and star forts, and they're not forts, and cathedrals. But again, what I'm saying is my running theory is they've all been built and designed to work together. So the micro to the macro would be the micro of the Antiquitech. Actually, we'd be the micro being healed, and then the design of the cathedral without, and then just branching out literally to the rose. I'm not even saying it right. The stained glass windows to the Antiquitech, to the town's grid lines, to the ley lines of a city, to, you know, like that, branching out. And then, of course, branching out to our whole realm and how it worked together. So, yeah, that's all. Yeah, researching is just searching again and again and again. So that's my running theory. I don't know if I will ever delve more into it. I don't know if I will ever come to any conclusions. Although the more I am open to things like healing and resonances and things like that. Understanding comes to me, but sadly, with these types of things, I don't think we can use them. I think we can sense them, like Wendy said, but I don't think we can ultimately use them. We can ultimately use, what Yah has given us to heal and things like that. But Bruce, military bases laid out these lines. Yes, yes and no. But I think they even stole some of it. Yeah, David, right? All the sounds. Sorry, I'm a little OCD about my necklaces. They're driving me nuts. Yeah, healing and everything they've destroyed. I sound like a broken record. I just get so hyped up about how they've destroyed creation, and they want to destroy us, but they can't. Deep down inside, they can't. Thanks, Katina. Chicago people are cool. Full disclosure, I'm not like a Chicago person. I'm from near Chicago, but I really just grew up in the suburbs. I only lived in Chicago a year of my life. My husband will not move to the city as much as I'd want to. I love the city, but to each his own, But yes, you're right, David. They took down everything that was used that way. The bells, they took down everything. The Antiquitech. Bruce, you're right. Yes, what's underground? They're reusing underground. So, yep. Cable car systems, any system, they've redone it and assimilated. Oh, enjoy your walk, Wendy. Yep. They just destroy. So we have to build up. And they cannot take our souls. So again, I always wrap up with that. They can't ultimately destroy who we are and who we're made to be. So yeah, ain't no big timber anymore. Oh, yeah. There aren't any big trees around, really. I know they knock a lot down. And, I even had a beautiful field in the backyard here. And one reason I was like, ooh, I want to live in that spot. Now they're building a big storage facility behind us, ugly ass stuff. So I'm like, oh, well, I don't even get to look at the natural foliage that, the weeds back there. They plowed them all down. Which, who needs a storage facility? There's one right down the street. Now they're building one here. It's stupid, but yes. Pseudo, we get labeled as Chicago because no one would know otherwise where we are. I don't know. I'm not even in Chicago anymore. I'm in the Hodunk, Indiana. I love Chicago though. And speaking of feeling different things, I do feel different things in the city there. I feel different things wherever I go. Yeah, temperature changes too. I do always feel out an area. Different types of resonances. And usually people, I'm pretty good at pinpointing how people are. You had an argument with an out-of-towner. Oh, well, we get labeled as that because of the way we talk. So when I go out west to Colorado, or people always ask me where I'm from, and I get made fun of a lot, but whatever. I think it's fun. But yeah, that's the one label I'll take. Yes, I am from the Midwest. I am from Illinois. I am from the Chicagoland area, right, Pseudo? That's what we're known for. The toroidal field we are in is moving. Of course, we can tap it. Yes. Isn't that amazing? And the more I want to do that, the better. I really want to do that. And it's not constant. It's, I think whatever's going on and how they mess things up, we can't fully sense it all the time. But yeah, the toroidal field, that's a micro macro thing too. Like I said, in another live of mine, that's what our red blood cells are. They're toroidal shaped, and electrical impulses and electrically charged water is what heals. And then I posted that awesome video from Autodidactic that our heart is toroidal. And if I say that word too much, it's going to not come out right. It's all over the place. It's all over the place. Our eyes. Yep. Which are the windows to the soul. Wouldn't it be awesome? I wonder if our souls are shaped. Ooh, there's 11 in chat. Yes, 6 to 10 foot of field, David. Yes. Was telling someone that recently. I do go to a naturopath when I can, and he checks our fields when we are there. He's done my daughter most, but I've had it done a couple times, and he checks our toroidal, our field around us, so that your immune system can be boosted and things like that. And after he resets that, you can lay on this electrical impulse mat for like 5 minutes. It depends how old you are or who you are. And then it just kind of resets your body. So, of course, all of that stuff is expensive. And I shouldn't say he's expensive. The doctor tries to keep his prices low, but he has to make his living too. But yeah, that works. Am I feeling anxious? Maybe. I'm not as anxious as I used to be, thankfully. Praise Yah, I'm not as anxious as I used to be. I used to be anxious constantly, but I'm not anymore. I haven't, Lev. I can look. So, yeah. Not anxious. Maybe I'm just getting tired and I have a lot on my mind all the time, Katina. So if it shows on my face, I'm very much I don't hide how I feel, so maybe I am anxious. But I'll stop there. And yep, that's my running theory. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying I'm wrong, but it's pretty interesting to think about. So I don't know. That's all I got. So blessings. Have a good night.